Again, everybody. You can see I'm looking a bit crusty. That's because I'm waiting for the people who are gainfully employed to clear out of the swimming pool, and then I can go for my swim and look all revived and aquatic and refreshed. So, I thought today it might be useful to, well, there's some businessy things first, I suppose. The first is you will notice that I'm writing less blogs and doing more live recordings. The reason for that is kind of twofold. The one is that a lot of my writing energy at the moment is going into editing and writing, and it is NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo coming up in July. So things are going to get even more frantic when I try to get 50,000 words of a new draft down in 1 month. Um, and I'm really enjoying doing these live recordings. So I will still blog now and then, but most of my writing energy is going into the books. And I actually really enjoy doing these. So you will see me swapping over more and more frequently from blog to vlog as the days come on. Vlog, for those of you who are not like totally technically savvy from the 80s like I am, is a video blog. So, what are we talking about today? Well, uh, it's another experiment in happiness that I have been doing. So, one of the documented ways that you can help your mood is with scent, with smell. So, if you come into our home these days, you will find it full of these guys. I will be honest with you, the reason why we have these guys in the house isn't entirely to do with the science. Um, Shortly before he died, Josh wanted to buy end of year gifts for some of his favorite teachers and wanted to get Yankee Candles. So we got Yankee Candles for them. And at the time, he decided he wanted one for himself. And he had Yankee Candles burning for a whole lot of the time in the last few months that he was alive. So we have a house full of Yankee Candles now that is sort of, we started doing it because it was something that helped us feel closer to Josh. But actually, there's a whole lot of science about using your sense of smell. So I first found out about it reading this book. Actually, I don't think it's in this book. I think it's in a later book, but it's by Gretchen Rubin. So The Happiness Project is one of the best memoirs that I read. There we go. I read this nearly 10 years ago, I suppose now. And really, at the time, Gretchen Rubin, I thought was marvelous. Because she had decided that she would go on a project to make herself happy, and she tried a whole lot of different things. So I don't know if it's in this book or in the later book, I can't remember, but one of the things that she spoke about was using your sense of smell. Just a word on Gretchen Rubin. If you're going to read it, read her earlier books rather than her later books. So Gretchen Rubin, when she first started, she was an explorer. She was going out there, she was looking at some of the science, and she was trying these things out for herself. I've noticed over the last few years, she sort of set herself up as an expert. So now she's a happiness expert rather than a sort of a fellow traveler. And for me, that's a little bit less appealing as a reader and as a traveler myself, or a tourist, a happiness tourist, should I call myself. And she's now sells you all sorts of different products, and it's become quite a commercial thing. And you know, really for me, old Gretchen Rubin and new Gretchen Rubin, it's sort of the difference between Stephen Fry and Richard Dawkins. Stephen Fry can make you feel terrifically clever and let you explore and find all these new things. Stephen Fry can. Richard Dawkins is an expert, and his tone makes you feel rather stupid for not having known all the things about theology that he has thought about. So for me is, if you're going to go out and get a book, get The Happiness Project or the one that came shortly afterwards, because actually that's something that is a really good read and a really useful book. But to get back to how I got onto that, so one of the things she experimented with, and she spoke a little bit in her book about the science. So the theory is that your scent receptors are attached to pieces of your brain that bypass your cognitive thinking. That is why, the theory goes, you can smell something and it'll take you right back to childhood. So it takes you back to the pieces of your brain that are associated with memory and with feeling. So the theory is that if you use smells, you can use smells to manipulate your mood without going through your cognitive processes. So it'll be, I'm not thinking about being happy, it will just make me happier. Um, and we have been doing this now. The house has been full of Yankee Candles. I should also confess, Yankee Candles, I live in a house with boys. The remake of Vacation Movie was a big hit in the Castle household. So there is also like that, teenage boy bit of us that goes when we think about Yankee Candles. If you haven't seen the movie, you have to go watch it. Now I'm not going to tell you. So the house is filled with Yankee Candles. We like Yankee Candles better than any other thing, any other brand, because so far out of everything we found, they smell really nicely, and they have this nice feature. So one of the things I really hate about candles is when you blow them out, you get that nasty smoky smell. But with a Yankee Candle, you just put the lid on, and the smoke is trapped inside. It's a miracle, I tell you. So has it helped? So the first thing, of course, is that you've got to find scents that or smells that really appeal to you. Shannon brought home one that was smelled like cinnamon, and I had to give that to my friend Taylor, who likes cinnamon. The one I really like are things like vanilla, citrus, that remind me either of like home baking and deliciousness and food, or remind me of summer and citrus is, I think, attached to kind of cleanliness in my mind. So those are the ones that I like. Shannon tends to like the more kind of like washed linen smells that are blends. I don't like those as much. So does it help? I think the truth is actually, yes, it does. It's something really simple, but we have them burning around the house. So as we go into the rooms in the day and you spend time in a room, you light the candle and you put it out when you leave. Yeah, I think it does. I don't think it has a lasting effect. So I don't think like you can go and snort your Yankee Candle in the morning and then be like set up for the weeks to come. Certainly I find though that if I am in a room and I'm working and I got my a scented candle burning, yeah, I think it does improve my mood. So this for me is one that you can use to kind of improve your mood in the moment, burn it, feel happy, but don't be going and expecting that it's going to be like an antidepressant. It's not going to set you up for life. When you leave that element seems to go with it. So that is it, guys. So go out, buy a scented candle or whatever it is for you. I'm not like getting any money from Yankee Candles, wish I was. And it is something that you can do. It's definitely something that's helping. You will see that I am looking a little bit more cheerful than I have over the previous weeks and months. So maybe that combined with the swimming helps. I don't know, but I definitely do think that is something you can do that will ease misery. All right, I'm going to go off and swim now. Bye.